Halloween Aki says Rayman was never a classic. Crash Bandicoot definitely is one, but Rayman 100% is not.
Bro, Rayman catching strays, okay.
Rayman sucks!
I mean,
that's a good question. Because the only reason I know of Rayman is because of Raving Rabbids for the Game Boy Advance, which I played on my DS. Because that was when the Rabbids first started becoming a thing, and then Rayman got usurped by the Rabbids. And then they became their own icon.
Yeah, then, yeah.
Well, like, older Rayman games? I'm going to have to say that's a fact. I will probably say Rayman is probably not a classic.
I mean, would you consider the newer ones classic at this point?
Origins and Legends? Yes. Like, if I didn't know anything about Rayman prior, and I've only played Rayman Origins or Rayman Legends, I would say those two are classics.
Yeah, because those games are pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. Those are solid Rayman games. Raving Rabbids was also pretty solid, but, like, it was an okay platformer for me. Like, I saw that, though, like, legit, I bought it because I saw the party game on the Wii that was also called Rayman Raving Rabbids 2, I think. So I bought the first one for Game Boy Advance thinking there'd be mini-games. And then there wasn't. It turns out it made rabbits like these super like invasive species, which they are. They still are invasive species. They just more so cause minor problems than actual like catastrophes now. But
I don't really have any attachment to Rayman. I didn't really play it.
And it's like, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like me neither. I just want to play the games and have memories of them, but that's not like an it character for me, you know?
Crash, I also played and play though.
Crash, I grew a love
I knew
for
about
it
it
later.
more. Yeah.
I played Wrath of Cortex and I liked it, and then it was kind of like a blip, but then it was like I saw him again in something, and I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot I actually liked this character. And then I saw Crash of the Titans and Mind Over Mutant, and it was like, wow, these games suck. But, Crash 4 came out, and then and then the Insane Trilogy came out, and I was like, you know what? I'll give these games a shot, and then I liked them. Why isn't he in Smash?
I feel like Skylanders, it just made me sad.
I only didn't, like, Skylanders made people sad because it was advertised as a Spyro game when it wasn't. I forgot Crash had a Skylanders figure, though. Didn't Bowser and Donkey Kong get one, too?
They did, yeah, they were in that game, yeah.
I wish I got the Bowser one when it was out. I kind of wanted just to have.
Right.
It looks so cool.
Yeah, but yeah, made Spyro, and I mean, the worst. That's why I hate Skylanders, but I don't think it really deserves that much hate, though.
Yeah, no, Skylanders does not deserve nearly as much hate as it got. It's kind of like how Teen Titans Go got vitriol because they thought it was the return of the show, but we got the chibi nonsense instead. But Skylanders was like that too, to where it was advertised as a Spyro game. I heard the show was actually pretty good. It was advertised as a Spyro game, and then it wasn't a Spyro game. It was good. It was like that. I forgot what the game of the game was, but it was like that one game that like was like, oh, Conqueror's Return, and it was like another like creation like Minecraft style game, but that like died. That because I know nothing about it. JonTron did like a mini video on it, and I just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
I heard that, but yeah, I heard this Skylanders show was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it, I guess. Yeah, to know if it'd be good as a show or not.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. It was on Netflix, wasn't it? Conqueror's Return is like taking a good game and taking out the best. I'm assuming you mean the best parts of it. Yeah, nah. I was to an extent, I would say Bayonetta 3 was like that for me. Like, it added some new mechanics, like the whole Demon Slave thing, but like it took out like creative torture attacks. It took out like the hands and feet weapons. Like, it took out a lot of the cool costumes that you could get. It was a nerf on the series as a whole for me, but I get what you mean. I think about how I got. Yeah, no, actually, like that's why Smash is such a good crossover game. Because on top of the fact that, so like, I got into a discussion with a friend earlier about like crossover games and Smash in general, right? So like, there's a lot of crossovers that are bad, and then there are crossovers that are good. Like, Smash is probably like the best way you could do a crossover game, because it takes these characters and implements their universe into their moveset. So when you're playing like Banjo-Kazooie in Smash, you get an idea what Banjo and Kazooie's relationship is like. through their moveset, their taunts, and all of that. You get an idea of Pac-Man's universe through his moveset with all the fruits, the ghosts that he throws at people, and like a couple other things. You get Mega Man. Like, when you see these characters, you're playing as these characters.
And like the conclusion of their stages and the music, it helps as well.
Yeah, all that, like, all of it. Like, all of it is so good. Then you go to bad crossovers, like, hot take. Oh yeah, Cam Falcon's still, like, his own... He might as well be a Smash exclusive character at this point until he gets another game. But, and then you move on to bad crossovers, like, hot take Fortnite, to where it's like, yeah, you have all these skins of characters, but you don't feel like you're playing that character. You feel like you're playing as, like, a skin of that character. Like, you feel like you're playing a modded game, and that makes any sense.
I think the first one that I saw, probably the most recent one I've seen that actually does a good job of that is the Avatar ones.
Yeah, because the bending scrolls. But I know, like,
yeah,
if those were permanent, like, if the crossover items were permanent, that'd be one thing. But they're, like, limited event items, and once they're gone, and you have the Katara skin, you can't water bend with Katara anymore.
It's like, okay, I guess I'm not gonna
Yeah.
do the one thing I wanted to do here.
And it's like, the only thing you can get away with is Toph being a sniper, because technically she's metal bending. Like, that's it.
As a blind girl shooting a sniper rifle.
Well, to be fair, if you can, because she literally had, because of her, like, being able to sense people on the ground, you can literally have built-in infrared.
I mean, it's on the ground, I guess.
Oh, yeah, if they're airborne, then yeah, no, there's no way Toph should be able to do that. That's, being in the air is her blind spot. But, like, Fortnite is a bad example of crossovers. It's like, yeah, you can unlock their taunts and animations and stuff like that, but you don't, when you play as Goku, you're playing as Jonesy with a Goku skin.
Yeah.
It's funny seeing him hold a gun, but once the novelty goes away, it's like, wow, this is a really, like, they feel hollow, to the point where I like the original skins more than the crossovers skins, if that makes any sense. Oh yeah, Ganon was not a good representation in Smash.
Yeah. For a reason, they decided they wanted to add him in that game, but they didn't want to do too much, and then they haven't really tried to change too much.
Yeah, like, Melee was already a Rush title, and it's like, they just never really fixed his moveset since, because people like it a lot. Even though it's just Diet Falcon.
To be honest though, you don't see Ganon do a lot of hand-to-hand fighting.
No, he is mostly a magic spammer or a sword user. But like in Smash, they just gave him Falcon's moveset. Ultimate, they gave him like good Smash attacks, but that was it.
Like, if he could float and had magic projectile, he probably would be a lot better in the tier list.
Actually. Oh, I have played Project M, but not Remix. I have not, so I haven't seen what Phantom Ganon's like.
Yeah, the lesser Ganon, like, underling from Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, and apparently Phantom Ganon's like definitively Ganon.
Yeah, the one that that should be weaker just is better.
That makes sense. The boss, when you unlock him as a playable character, typically sucks.
So it seems like most people are gonna say it's a fact, right? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Good
say
to
it's fact.
Okay.
Opinion.
Well, I have some news, everybody, and that is, you're all right. It's true. Rayman has had good games. Don't get me wrong. Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins, very good games. And the Rayman game on iOS is amazing. But,
is it iOS Rayman game?
The old games?
It's the first one.
Rayman 1 sucked. And Rayman 2, the platformer for the 64, I don't know why everybody said it was good. I remember seeing it come out and like Nintendo Power and all these places were giving it 10s. I was like, what the hell are you doing? I played that game. It was that boring. He's not good. Crash Bandicoot was good. Crash Bandicoot was good. A lot of people tell you that he wasn't.
It also wasn't a 3D platformer though.
I know Rayman did have a 3D platformer. That was probably why they thought it was good, because it's like, oh, that shocked them to do the 3D. And if they do a decent job with it, it's like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. 10 out of 10. Yeah, like Mario 64 is a very janky game, and the latter half of the game is very bad. But the up until the Bowser fight's fine, but the latter half of Mario 64 is kind of bad.
I mean, in some ways, Rayman is like Mario Sunshine before Mario Sunshine.
Yes. That I can agree.
Yeah, he like jumps and floats. And
with jump, you have like a little flutter that can help you. The Game Boy Advance version of that was not very good.
Yeah,
you do not get a lot of
Game Boy Advance. The game was interesting, but not good.
Yeah,
Well,
looking back, I was like,
Revenge.
wow, this is definitely a video game I'm playing.
A lot of 3D, or somewhat 3D, trying to be like platformers on Game Boy Advance didn't really work.
Yeah. Honestly, funny story about the beginning of the game. I was supposed to buy groceries, and I think my mom said I could get whatever I wanted from Dollar General. I saw the $20 game at Dollar General and got it. I semi-knowing full well that's not what my mom meant, but like
Right.
it was like she did say I could get whatever I want or something like that. So I grabbed it, and then I got like mildly scolded from my mom. So like opening the cartridge and playing it was like the most awkward time starting a new game I've ever had. Because I was just overlying tension of like, oh great, mom hates that I got this game, and now I gotta actually play it to justify the fact that I bought it.
And then you couldn't quite do that.
And it wasn't a bad game. It was just a game I was playing. Now that I'm remembering it, it was like the soundtrack was pretty bad. At least for like a specific area I was in was pretty bad. The bosses were pretty neat though. The boss theme for Rayman Rabbids for the Game Boy Advance was pretty good. But the overworld and a bunch of... I don't remember anything that wasn't like ear splitting. But the boss theme is really good.
Crash Bandicoot did have good games, especially for the time. Rayman? No. Gatekeeping is a good thing. and
I
should
forgot
be
Rayman had a cartoon series. I have
It
not.
saves...
I did not see that series. I know it's an old cartoon though.
communities
You
by
know, make
weeding
games
out
of
tourists.
cartoons.
If you
Yeah.
let someone else's opinion, or someone else insulting you, sway your own opinion on something so easily, you probably didn't
No.
care about it very much in the first place.
Gatekeeping's never good.
That I disagree with. But gatekeeping in general is not a good thing. But there are like levels of like, hey, like if you don't like what this game does, you probably just shouldn't play it. The aggressive gatekeeping that's like, oh, you garbage, get away from my game, that's bad. Don't do that.
I don't know if,
But
I don't know if
like,
I'd call that gatekeeping as much as like, they're not like you're keeping them from going in there, they're just like swaying them from even entering.
yeah, it's more like you filtering.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like toxic gatekeeping, no, like that is never a good thing. This is definitely an opinion, but like my take on that is that my take on anything is do never interact with your favorite games fan base. If you like Sonic, like just go on Sonic Twitter, look at art, listen to the only people I say interact with is Sam Procrastinates and Games Cage. Those two, they are solid dudes that have they're very welcoming and all that other stuff, so like they're pretty good like Sonic content creators to like look at. But typically you don't want to interact with your fan base because a lot of the fan base are chronically online weirdos who will kind of just lash out at you if you disagree with them.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a Sonic shipper. Shippers in general are like that, and that needs to be like adjusted, but like if you are a like Sonic shipper or like a Danganronpa shipper or like any sort of like anime Fujoshi bait shipper, and if you are any of those things and you are not reasonable with how people disagree with your ships, then you actually need to go outside. Because I'm not gonna say like I've shipped people before, like I'm not innocent of that, but like I also know that it's like these two people have like zero reason to actually meet up or get together. I just think it'd be really neat if they did stuff, interacted in some way, shape, or form. But other than that, like, no, like you don't want to interact with like that game's fan base, especially if it's like a sweaty game like Dark Souls. Like if you're if you're trying to get into Dark Souls and you're trying to be like, oh hey, I kind of want to use this, and it's not something people typically use, you will probably get lambasted for it.
They're like, oh, what? You don't understand the game? You shouldn't be playing it at all. It's like, no, let me play the game.
Or if it's like you're playing Elden Ring and it's like you're using summons. I can't believe you're using Mimic Tears in this game, bro. Just get good. Why are you using Mimic Tears? You're garbage. Blah, blah, blah. Don't play the game. Like, that kind of gatekeeping is garbage. If the game provides ways for everyone to try different playstyles, that is bad. It's one thing if it is like, say, you're playing D&D and you don't like a certain rule, or like you don't like a bunch of rules that are in the game. but everyone in that group has been playing that way for like years and don't want to change it. That is technically
playing.
It's like, no, we're not doing it this way. You need to do this our way, or like, no. And then they go into a fit about it. It's like, no, that is reasonable gatekeeping, because it's like you're trying to learn the game, but like you're only following rules that you enjoy. I'm kind of strawmanning because I saw this in like a comic, but like that's the only example I can think of where it's like,
yeah,
gatekeeping
D&D
can be good.
Hard.
Yeah, gatekeeping can be good, but most of it is bad.
Yeah,
it's
like as a novice, you shouldn't be assuming that people will change their way of doing things for sure.
Yeah, like the whole Dark Souls easy mode. No, like I just will not play Dark Souls, and that is okay.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So you gotta understand that not every game is meant for you. Like an extreme example would be like the Saber and Conqueror games, like the horny bait like Musou games, and it's like, wow, I love this art style. This gameplay is really solid. I hate that it's a horny boob game, but like, I'm not gonna be like, bro, they should turn off the boobs, the physics, or all this other stuff so that I can enjoy the game. It's like, no, this game is just not for me. I will just find something else to play.
Right. There's enough variety out there.
Yeah, there's enough games out there with like anime art style and action that I can play, and it's like I will simply play something else. Like you just gotta learn to like understand that not every game is for you. But the gatekeeping that he's referring to is probably the aggressive variety, because he brings up the insulting you bit, and it's like, no, that is bad.
Never insult people for trying something new.
You want to educate. You never want to belittle.
Right.
But RPG elitists like love feeling like they're better than everyone else because they know how to manipulate ones and zeros better. So it's a trip.
Yeah.
But I will say if he's talking about like the bad gatekeeping, then I will say no. This is an opinion. But like if he's talking about like casual filters or like people need to understand that some games just aren't for you, that is different. But I think he's specifically breaking up the bad gatekeeping. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with like people touring your game and trying to feel things out.
People will call this a fun fact. And I have good news for you all, because it's both! Wow!
Cop out.
Both at once? Hear me out. Obviously, gatekeeping is an extremely nerdy, dorky practice, right? To try to hold some sort of like tenure or something above other people just because you're a bigger fan of something. That's mad geeky. You shouldn't do that. It's stupid.
Yes.
However, if you let somebody else's opinion, or you go online and somebody just knocks you out of the fan base because they're mean or something, you probably didn't really care anyway, right? You were just looking.
That is how I was with Fire Emblem, to be honest. I had a friend it was the same guy that was really good at Sunshine. Like, I played the game on casual mode for Engage, because I just didn't like permadeath as a mechanic. And for whatever reason, he took that as like a personal, like he got like really like weird about it. And it's like, alright, I just don't care about this game anymore. Like, I'm good. Because now every time I play it, I think of him like being weird about it to me, and it's like, alright, like I just, this game's kind of mid anyway, so like I don't really want to engage in it if it's just gonna make me upset. So I just stopped.
Get engage.
Yeah. That wasn't even on purpose. I started.
I played older Fire Emblem games that had permadeath as that's what it is. It's an option.
Yeah.
And I still play engage on casual because I was just like, it just felt easier. But the game does also have a rewind feature as well, so I mean, you can't really talk. It's like, well, even if you have permadeath on, the game's still gonna let you rewind. So I don't know. Except for if you want, but yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about gatekeeping is that any game that gets like heavily gatekept is usually suffering incarnate. So I'm like, you know what, y'all can have this. Like the whole non-playing casual maddening difficulty is like, yeah, y'all can have that. I don't want to do that.
I haven't played maddening. I don't think it's worth.
That is your venture, not mine. You can you enjoy that show. I will not like shit. I watched a video of someone playing Shin Megami Tensei, Shin Megami Tensei 5 or something, and
or not that one, but yeah.
Our like RNG was like, haha, attack, get attack, get attack, get attack. Your attack missed, you lost your chance. Attack, 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 died. It's like, wow. You just went into a battle and the game just said you can't play the game. It's like, yeah, nah, y'all can have this. I'll continue playing Persona 5 with an asterisk because I still need to actually touch my game.
Right.
It was like,
Persona 5 has a lot more. I don't know if it's more strategy, but I feel like there's more planning.
Yeah, like I enjoyed Fire Emblem when I played it. It was more like a game that I was like, oh, okay, nice. It's got a neat little theme song. The soundtrack's really good. I can listen to that while I have a fun time moving my chess pieces around. But like all I can think of, and this is probably just me being a wuss, but like all I could think of was just my friend like being weird about it, and it's like now every time I open the game, it's like, well, frick, I don't want to have to think about that every time I open this game, and I just won't play the game anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes people ruin games for you, regardless of whether it's good or not.
Yeah, it's the internet is one thing. If it's the internet like being that issue, it hits different when the gatekeeper is like physically next to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, frick, great. I might get the game back and try it again one day when I'm not like, and once I get over it. But like, Fire Emblem.
I wouldn't say Engage is the best one. Yeah. I guess if anyone want to play like Three Houses, I guess.
Like I actually like to Engage. I love its art style. Like I love the variety of characters you have. The only thing I hate is that you don't have there isn't a faster way to get affinity with characters. So you have to actually pick a character you want to invest in. Yeah. Like I love the support conversations and all the other stuff that come with Fire Emblem Engage. But
I say that the support conventions are kind of sparse compared to Three Houses.
Yeah. But I like them, but they're really hard to get. And because every chapter introduces like 3 characters, it's like that's more characters I have to grind conversations for. There's no way to efficiently do that.
Yeah, a bunch of them because of that, yeah. It's like, well, okay, I have too many. No.
Like, that's my only complaint. That and there's no New Game Plus, so the conversations you unlocked won't carry over to like a new save file.
Right. Yeah.
So it becomes a whole issue with that too.
I will say that the music is probably one of my favorite though.
Oh yeah, dude, I love Engage's music. I like Three Houses and Engage have wonderful soundtracks.
Looking for an excuse.
But yeah, gatekeeping is his gatekeeping is bad. But like the informing that this is how the game is, if you don't like it, then you probably shouldn't play it. That's harsh, but that is the proper way to gatekeep.
Obviously,
it's better than having somebody that knows nothing about the series telling people that they have to change it.
Yeah. I would rather be told this game's not for me than to have some guy be like, no, you need to change Dark Souls because this should be like this, blah, blah, blah. Like that is the other end of the spectrum of gatekeeping. There is the screaming at you for not wanting to play the game, they want to play it. And then there's the half that's screaming at the players for being, why can't this game be fitted around me? So it's like both ends of the spectrum are horrible.
Just keeping the gate, and then there's taking a battering ram and breaking the gate open.
Yeah. Yeah. There is... pretty much, yeah. That's why nuance and middle grounds exist, but nobody likes doing that.
Communities that are...
Right. Always one on the other.
Obnoxious. They're a little... But at the same time, I think the gatekeeping label goes a little bit too far, especially in a world where people get called out for, like, dumb little jokes, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if it should be encouraged. That's the other...
Like, legit, I was playing a game called Dissidia NT, like that Final Fantasy weird fighting game that's not a fighting game.
Yeah.
And I was listening to the Shiva boss theme because it was actually really good. I commented that, it's like, wow, this boss is freaking annoying, but this theme is actually really good. And then I had some, like, Spurg be like, you don't know the lore behind her character and all this other stuff and why she does the things she does. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, she probably does have a good reason for doing it, but mechanically it is very annoying. And it's like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, alright, look. All I did was say, hey, this boss fight's kind of annoying, but I really like her theme. And, like, I don't know why he felt like... Probably a Shiva simp, because, like, I get it.
Yeah.
Haha, hot ice lady, but, like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So, like, no, like, that kind of gatekeeping, as funny as it is incredibly obnoxious.
The opinion part, clearly, that's a little crazy. But I will say that I don't think it's as big a deal as people sort of make it out to be, you know? I think a lot of
Panda
people
goalie
just,
versus bully.
are looking for somebody
Yeah,
to hate or
right.
get mad at on the internet. And if you can do it from a geek that you think cut you off from... an overzealous geek, don't get me wrong. A super nerd, a turbo nerd that told you that you were wrong for liking something. That's a little silly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's a nerd. Just like what you like, okay?
Based.